Madam Chair, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Chair Carter. And actually, this is Gagny today. I'm filling in for Mina. She's off. So hello, everybody. And yes, we do have a quorum.
Right, thank you for that. All right, so the meeting is officially called to order. You may proceed with the roll call, please.
Member Winton,
Here.
Member Tinsley Smith, Member Talley,
I'm here.
Member Starr,
Here.
Member Randall,
Dr. Randall is present.
Member Luckman,
Present.
Member Lanto,
Present.
Member Joyner,
Present.
Member Hughes, I saw her earlier. I'll come back to her. Member Gator, Member Gator,
Present.
Member Garcia,
Here, sorry.
Member English Barnhill, Member Douglas,
Present.
Member Dobb,
Here.
Member Crawford,
Present.
Member Cash,
Present.
Vice Chair Roberts,
Present.
Chair Carter.
Present.
You do have a quorum, and I just want to note for the record that Member Hughes has joined the meeting. Member Hughes, are you present?
Yes, I am present. Sorry, it's having computer issues.
That's all right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the approval of the May 12, 2022 meeting minutes. But it's one thing that I'd like to object to, and that I'll hold that unless anyone else has any comments about what is in the last minutes. I like to point out that we have an election today to vote in a new chair and vice chair. And our bylaws indicate that it should be an open vote and that people should see who are voting, how they're voting. If we elect to not have this as a open meeting as far as the public being able to see it, I support that, but this must be a public vote amongst the members at minimum. Do we have any comments or thoughts?
Through the chair, are we voting? Did we skip the minutes? I'm sorry, just for the record.
As I said, there's a correction to the minutes.
And what needs to be corrected so I can write that down?
Well, there
Or
was
what-
there was a discussion at our last meeting that perhaps we should do this vote for our chair and vice chair in secret. In other words, keep it hidden as to who is voting how and whom. In all fairness, I think it's to our benefit to see who's voting and how they're voting, just as we did when we voted myself into office and Vice Chair Sarah Roberts. I don't know what's the purpose of hiding what we're doing in a public in an overall public commission, unless someone can explain or have thoughts about it. Now, and if someone else wouldn't mind speaking, or we just need to get feedback from everyone. And this is the opportunity to voice your thought as a member.
We do have a hand from Vice Chair Roberts.
Proceed, Vice Chair Roberts.
Thank you very much. I don't believe that it is explicitly explained in our bylaws whether it needs to be a public vote or, you know, an individual private vote. And my understanding is it was Chair Bell's recommendation that we hold the election the way that it has been communicated to us via county staff, and I support the recommendation of Chair Bell and the county staff and believe we should proceed as we have been advised.
We also have a
I'm
hand
not
from-
sure. Go ahead.
We
ahead,
have another hand from Member Winton.
Yes, let's recognize Member Winton, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I guess if the bylaws, I'm not seeing, I think someone just put it in the chat. I don't see where it specifies that it has to be an open or closed. I'm not understanding why we should all know who votes for who and why that would be beneficial. I personally feel more comfortable. You know, I think everybody on this commission is here for a reason, but I'm personally more comfortable with my vote being my vote and everybody not knowing it. I think it makes, I think it's a better process. So if we're allowed to do it, that would be my preference.
Okay.
We have another hand from Member Randall.
Member Randall, you are recognized.
You're on mute. Oh.
Yes, in the bylaws that I received on June 10th, 2021, it does mention that the vote should be, everyone should see how people are voting. On page 5, it says all votes must be made in a meeting open to the public and conducted in a manner that allows other members and the public to know how each member voted. Members may vote by voice vote or roll call vote. That's on page 5 in the bylaws that are currently in effect.
We have another hand from Member Starr.
Go ahead, Member Starr.
Thank you. I agree with Dr. Randall and 6.4, and I pasted it in the chat. That section is referring to the general operations of meetings. It does not necessarily, in my view, it does not necessarily connect directly to this vote, but it does say that all votes must be made in a meeting, as she mentioned.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we can make that revision in the notes and proceed to the next item on the
Move to
agenda,
approve
please.
the minutes. I'm sorry, did anyone hear me? Move to approve the meeting minutes. Support.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We can.
Chair Carter, we have to take a vote on the
Yep.
on
I
the
was
minutes.
just getting to that. We can now vote individually since there is a discrepancy. We can, if you go ahead, Madam Chair, and take the
For
vote
point
by
of
vote.
clarification, before you take the vote, this is Felicia, the attorney for the commission. Just so the record's clear, initially you mentioned an amendment. However, no amendment has actually been made. So I want to be clear that the motion is to accept the minutes as currently presented. The issue that you've raised regarding the vote is not something that needs to be amended. That's something that you can address during this meeting with regards to the election of the officers. But I want everyone to be clear about the motion that's being voted on right now.
Okay, so the minutes may or may not reflect what happened in the meeting last time, and that's, I remember distinctively the meeting, and therefore that's why I'm saying it at this time. With that caveat, with all due respect, Attorney Johnson, we can do that and accept it with an extension for myself, and then proceed.
I'm sorry, Chair
That's
Carter, if you have an amendment, what page and line or what are you referring to exactly to amend? The conversation regarding the vote is something that occurred, is not something that can be amended out of these minutes. So what exactly are you looking to revise?
What I'm saying is that the notes are not reflective of that conversation that we had about how this vote was going to be conducted. But for the matter of, in the essence of time, let's skip that, and I'm willing to talk about at the time we get to the bylaw. Okay, thank you. So there is a motion on the table, and we had it, it was in fact second, am I correct?
To accept the minutes, yeah.
Okay, so we can go ahead and take a vote on approval of the minutes. Madam Chair. Not Madam Chair, I'm sorry. Madam Clerk, please proceed.
Are we
with that.
doing a roll call vote, Chair
Yes,
Carter?
yes,
Or
we
doing a
are.
voice
Yes.
vote?
We're doing a roll call vote.
Okay, and just to clarify, the motion and that has been made and seconded is to accept the minutes as written.
Yes.
That is true.
Member Winton,
Yes.
Member Talley,
Yes.
Member Starr,
Yes.
Member Randall,
Yes.
Member Luckman,
Yes.
Member Lanto,
Yes.
Member Joyner,
Yes.
Member Hughes,
Yes.
Member Gator,
Yes.
Member Garcia,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Yes.
Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Crawford,
I received the minutes. Yes. Thank you.
Member Cash,
Yes.
Vice Chair Roberts,
Yes.
Chair Carter,
My notes are noted for the record. So under those circumstances, yes, we can proceed.
motion passes.
Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna get right into my final last remarks in terms of a presentation or speech, if you will. I want to say to all, good afternoon again. Above all, thank you to the women of Wayne County, the Women's Commission, each one of you for your contribution to this inaugural body. I trust you are here to bring optimism and encouragement to continue the WCWC work with the incoming leadership. Honestly, I pass the torch with visions of multiple deeds we have accomplished, though deportment was much more difficult at times than the work. We persevered under a year of COVID conditions with a number of achievements. Congratulations. There is much work ahead to be created and completed to leave a trail of footprints that will speak for themselves one day, not only to the women of Wayne County, but to the male leadership for whom support must be prevalent. We must demonstrate by example positive camaraderie through the variety of voices on this commission. I will always embrace the encouragement received from the Michigan Women's Commission and their CEO, Cheryl Bergman, at their April 22 public meeting. I urge you profusely to stay connected and collaborate with this organization as their reach and practices may exist to bridge gaps where foundations exist. Upon being elected chair, we created ad hoc committees to effectuate revisions to our bylaws, create a mission, vision, and core values. We adopted COVID-19 recovery committees, of which the Mental Health Committee was able to formulate and host a summit. There are currently several resolutions pending, as well as the development of a strategic, definitive, all-inclusive operational plan. I wish to profoundly thank committee chairs, as well as the WCWC members who served upon those committees. I am grateful for your concerted efforts. Thank you for electing and trusting me to represent the Wayne County Women's Commission as your chair. And I am very excited about what is to come. Thank you for indulging me. All right, the next, go ahead, Madam Chair.
We
Please.
are moving to item D, unfinished business. Item D1, the Wayne County Women's Commission 2021 Annual Report. And item D1A, proposed ordinance modifications from Attorney Felicia Johnson.
Through the chair, do you want me to address the ordinance modifications? So,
Well,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll just address it to the point that it's in draft format, and whatever the status is, whatever the outcome was at your last meeting on, I believe, June 7th.
Yes, so on Tuesday, the Wayne County Commission did approve amendments to the Women Commission ordinance. There was one section that clarified the term of the officers. It was like 2 words we took out, and then we changed the annual report date to be due in June. Again, that was approved by the commission on Tuesday. That will take effect within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you for that report. The next item is the WCWC proposed bylaws modification. I did speak with Mary, member Dr. Mary Starr, and she has agreed to address where the proposed bylaws modifications are at this current time. Go ahead, Dr. Starr.
So thank you. So we have a proposed changes document that was provided by the staff at Wayne County. There's several changes in some of the sections. We've reviewed those, and we have not had time to go back and meet as a team. The bylaws review committee that we put in place back at last summer. We each have a copy of the changes, and we have not had time to meet about those. So we would like to suggest tabling any votes on this until the time when we are able to pull together a meeting and make some recommendations for bylaw changes, and then bring them to the full commission. So
I am looking at that email. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Attorney Johnson.
Sorry.
Please.
Oh, yes, we have a hand from Attorney Johnson.
Please proceed, Attorney Johnson.
Oh, I'll yield to you, Chair Carter, if you want. You were about to speak.
No, I'm more interested in your legal advice.
All right, so I just wanted to briefly say the basis for the changes that we are submitting to this body. As you all know, the county commission amended the ordinance last year to take out some provisions that would allow this body to continue to meet via Zoom. And a lot of those provisions were related to the Open Meetings Act. That also meant that some of your procedures and the way you operate would have to change. So we have been operating in that manner. What we did not do at the time that the commission made those amendments to the ordinance, we did not update the bylaws. So when we noticed that we did not update the bylaws to be consistent with the way you're operating, so many of these changes must be done, because again, it allows you to meet via Zoom versus meeting in person. But that was the basis for most of the changes that you have before you, in addition to updating the annual report date. So I just wanted to let you know the reason for the modifications. Thank you.
I understand. Thank you. And if I could make my last appointment and appoint member Dr. Mary Starr as the chair to reconvene your ad hoc committee to modify the bylaws, if you would accept.
sure, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And enough said. Thank you. All right, we can move to the next item.
We have a hand from Vice Chair Roberts.
Thank you. Just a procedural question. Member Starr made a recommendation to table any decisions on the proposed bylaw modifications at this meeting, and the suggestion to reconvene the bylaws review committee. So do we need to take any action on that? Do we need to vote to support that recommendation?
As the chair, I am empowered to make recommendations as chair of committees, and in that sense, I am making that recommendation because it's really in essence to keep things moving. There are certain suggestions that the county has made that may well be considered by a member by a team or a committee as opposed to a few people. I'm not sure if Member Douglas was a part of any of these discussions. She was not on the email. I did receive a copy of the draft bylaws, and I did have some conversation again with Mary, and I saw she made some proposed changes to the bylaws herself upon further examination, and so I think that needs to go back to committee, and maybe the next chair, whomever she is, can make something different happen. But she's been involved with the whole time, and she's quite capable, and I really respect her work. Okay.
We still have a hand from Vice Chair Roberts.
Yeah, just to follow up, I agree with all of that. I just don't know in terms of the purpose of this agenda and this agenda item, if we need a motion to support the recommendation to table and reconvene the bylaws committee. Felicia, is that something, do we need to take action on it, or are we good?
Through the chair, because this item is on the agenda, it appears that it is being brought before you as an item to discuss today. There is a motion on the floor right now to table. I don't know if that motion was seconded, but if it was seconded, I would suggest that you take the vote.
Did not hear a second.
Second.
Who second? I didn't hear it.
Member Roberts.
You brought the motion and you are seconding it?
Member Starr made the motion.
Member Starr, you are suggesting that we table it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. And so and Sarah is seconding the motion to table it for further review at a later time. And that's fine, but I just didn't want to ignore that. So we can move on to new business.
We have to take a
Is any
vote on the motion.
For clarification, this is Pamela, acting clerk for the commission. Are we tabling item number 1, the annual report?
No.
We may table that as well.
The motion on the floor is just for the bylaws.
Yes. All right, so can we get a vote? Can we get a roll call vote?
All right, and just for clarification, this is to table the proposed bylaw modifications. Member Winton,
Yes.
Member Talley,
Yeah. Yes.
Member Starr,
Yes.
Member Randall,
Yes.
Member Luckman,
Yes.
Member Lanto,
Yes.
Member Joyner,
Yes.
Member Hughes,
Yes.
Member Gator,
Yes.
Member Garcia,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Yes.
Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Crawford,
Yes.
Member Cash,
Yes.
Vice Chair Roberts,
Yes.
Chair Carter,
Yes, thank you.
motion passes.
All right, so the next item on the agenda, Madam
We're
Chair?
We're still under unfinished business. We are now at item D1C, which is the annual report.
The annual report, there's still errors in the annual report, so I wish to table that. It's not, there was a paragraph that was added that made the document inconsistent. And if we can take that up off record and approve those on the next committee meeting.
I move to table the annual report due to the errors that were recently presented. Member
Support.
Gator here.
Second.
Can I get a roll call vote for those who are here?
We
To
do have a
table.
hand. We do have a hand raised by Member Dobb.
Go ahead, Member Dobb.
Madam Chair, I was under the understanding that the annual report had been completed and submitted to the Wayne County Commission. Am I not correct?
You're not correct.
Commission counsel and or commission clerk, can you confirm that for me? Didn't we receive that?
Through the chair, this is Felicia. I do not recall a vote on the annual report at the last meeting. I thought that it was coming back to this body, but the clerk can confirm that. So I believe the Chair Carter is correct that it has not been submitted to the county commission. It's here today for a vote unless the clerk tells me there was a vote at the last meeting, which I don't believe there was.
There was not.
Oh, no, okay.
I think there was a discussion that we had about extending or making revisions because there were some pieces missing regarding like the mental health subcommittee or the committee and things of that sort. So I think initially we did have it and we were going to vote on it if my memory serves me right. And then we voted to extend approving it.
I'm referring to the Wayne County Commission. I'll go through my agendas and look. Maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, so we are moving to table the annual report. We can get a roll call vote, please.
Member Winton,
Yes.
Member Talley,
Yes.
Member Starr,
Yes.
Member Randall,
Yes.
Member Luckman,
Yes.
Member Lanto,
Yes.
Member Joyner,
Yes.
Member Hughes,
Yes.
Member Gator,
Yes.
Member Garcia,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Yes.
Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Crawford,
Yes.
Member Cash,
Yes.
Vice Chair Roberts,
Yes.
Chair Carter,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. Next item.
We're moving to item D2, new business. Item 1 under new business is the election of officers, chair and vice chair.
We will now proceed with the election of the chair and the vice chair. We will first start with the two candidates for chair.
Well, so each member should have received an email it should be in their inbox right now with a link to go to the election runner website. And that is where we will be casting our votes for chair and vice chair.
We're not going to do that because first of all, I'm on my computer and to be in both places at the same time, it's not feasible. And we're gonna go with the bylaws in place unless we want to delay the vote and change the bylaws. The bylaw says that votes should be made publicly amongst ourselves. So if we want to change the bylaws to include it the way you're suggesting it, then we can. When Sarah and I were elected, we did a public vote. I don't see the harm in that. So if we may proceed, I appreciate it. as chair, I am wanting to get this moved along. Member Dobb, please.
Yeah, we have hands from Vice Chair Roberts and Member Dobb.
Vice Chair
Okay,
Roberts.
go ahead, Member Dobb, please proceed.
I'm sorry, Vice Chair Roberts had her hand up first.
Well, I want to hear what you said because she is a voter as well. So I want to hear what your comments made me, Member Dobb, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to ask our commission counsel her opinion on this matter. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Through the chair, with regards to the method of voting, so Chairwoman Bell did suggest using election runner. If you look at your bylaws, there is a section as indicated earlier, section 6.4 under operation that refers to voting. That section was actually intended to talk about votes in general. There's another section that refers to the election of officers and those procedures, which is section 5.2, and which doesn't mention specifically how those votes whether those votes should be open or not. When your bylaws were initially drafted, it was because everything had to be open because of the Open Meetings Act. As you know, the commission has changed that process in the ordinance, thereby allowing you to continue to meet by Zoom. Therefore, some of these requirements are not required anymore. These procedures are not required anymore, and therefore that's why the commission staff has recommended amendments to your bylaws. That being said, I mean, you are very correct that there is a section that talks about votes being conducted in a manner that everyone can see the vote. If this body determines that it's either one, unclear, or that you believe that process actually does also include election of officers, though it was not intended to do so, you are very free to vote in any manner and method you determine right now during this meeting. It is within the body's discretion.
Okay, so currently right now, I see 3 messages that says that they do not have the link to do the vote. In the essence of time and in compliance with our bylaws, I think we can vote. Well, I know we can vote publicly, and I think we should proceed with that. There isn't any reason to rely on electronic transmission of votes when in fact it's not reliable.
We do have hands raised from Vice Chair Roberts, Member Winton, Member Randall, and Member Dobb. And just to comment on that last question, everyone should be receiving a link shortly if we do decide to go with that method. But since this is still being discussed, again, hands are raised from Member Roberts, Member Winton, Member Randall, and Member Dobb.
I don't think that this process is rehearsed enough to be reliable. Technology is such that it's not stable. That's my last comment. Go ahead, Member Winton, please.
Yes, again, I'm going to state I'm not going to vote publicly, or I think at least it should be a decision of this body of how we make the vote.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Member Randall, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we follow the bylaws in section 6.4, I believe it's 6.4, where they said the votes must be made in an open meeting. And I think that if you want to change the bylaws, let the new chairperson and vice chair conduct that situation, because it still needs to go to a bylaw committee. I thought maybe someone needs to correct me on that. Thank you.
All right, Member Dobb, please. I'm gonna get to you in just a moment, Vice Chair, but I want to hear from the people who are not on the ballot. And I think Dobb, you are on the ballot, but
Roberts is also on the ballot, Madam Chair.
Right. So yes, so go ahead, Member Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am in favor of using election runner, and I agree with Member Winton that I would prefer my vote to remain private, and I agree with our attorney, our council, that this, we are not operating under Open Meetings Act, so we can use this election app to conduct our vote. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Go ahead, Vice Chair Roberts.
Thank you. Just first, a point of clarification. When Chair Carter and I ran for chair and vice chair, no one else was running. And so it was really just a procedural vote to, have us placed in the chair and vice chair positions. I believe that there is some ambiguity in the bylaws. I trust the insight, knowledge, and recommendations of Chair Alicia Bell and our county commission staff. And I fully support using election runner and allowing us to take the vote as it has been recommended to us. And I would make a motion to that, but I will wait because I see there are a number of people who would like to speak.
Go ahead, Member Joyner, please.
My concern is if there is this much unclarity and this much discussion on voting, and everyone has different opinions, and let's do it this way, and we could do it this way, and let's change it, even though it was this way, that says to me that there's another step we need to have before we take a vote. There shouldn't be this much ambiguity. There shouldn't have to be this much discussion on taking a vote. So if it's this unclear, we need to really look at that. And so right now, I'm voting not to vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Lugman, you have the floor.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could make a motion to vote on whether we vote electronically or openly.
Not at this time, because we still have people who are wanting to make comments. If you have a comment outside of that, then go ahead with that. Reasoning. We have a reason for supporting one or the other. Other than that, you can make the motion at the appropriate time. And you still have your hand up, Member Luckman?
Oh, no, that was it. I just wanted to make a motion on
Okay, thank you.
voting.
All right. Member Crawford, you may speak. You're recognized.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies. Just in regards to the vote, I voted on the electronic that was sent out. The link, it only took like 2 seconds, and I'm willing to vote in person. This is, I'm ready, if we possibly can move on. I do have to leave at 1, but I would like to submit my vote. So I'm ready. Thank you.
Member Douglas, you have a comment?
Yeah, so my concern is that this was brought up at the last meeting about the electronic vote, and emails have been sent out since. And so I feel that if there was some issue with this, I think that with all the emails that were sent regarding the instructions and that this was going to be done and the discussion that we had at the last meeting, I'm not sure why those concerns were not brought up between then and now. So I'm open, I'm comfortable with doing the electronic. So that's my thought.
Thank you for your comment. Member Cash, did you have a comment?
I do have a comment. I have not received the link in my personal email, nor in the other email that I submitted to the commission in the beginning. Okay, so I need the link, or however this body choose, if there's going to be a motion to do it in person, or if there's going to be a motion to do it electronically. Either way, I need to have the link just in case we're going to do it electronically. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Cash. Member Luckman, do you have a comment?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was looking for the unmute button. I just wanted to mention, I recall last time when we did vote for chair and vice chair, we had given each person who was, nominated or self-nominated a minute to just briefly speak about why they wanted to be selected. I know we got the interest letters by email, but I was hoping we can make a little bit of time to just hear each candidate just briefly speak about why they wanted to be selected for that role before we do cast our votes.
And that is part of the process. Thank you for that. I am very concerned that there's already been pre-votes for candidates before they even hear all of the candidates. I don't know if that's presenting as as fully giving each member in this commission an opportunity to influence or to plead to or present to or even hear what they may bring to the table. I don't have the link, and my computer is a little unstable, and I don't think it's going to be a good idea. We're going to lose some people going back and forth in between screens, number one. Number two, I think it just showed that it's flawed in that some people have the link, some people don't have the link, and it's just too messy. I had no idea I've never heard of this process before. I'm not familiar with it. And not one person has had a discussion with myself about how this works. So I can't even, support not bringing this before the body in such a way that they could have enough information to make a decision one way or another. I mean, you can't offline make decisions amongst a few people and where they're educated on what the process is, but yet you leave a dozen other people out of the commission. And we want to be transparent, and we do want to give everybody a chance. This is what this body is about. It's about giving everybody an opportunity to participate. All right, so go ahead, Melissa Dobb.
Madam Chair, I know that many of the members here are on their lunch break. It is 12:45. Could we please proceed with the vote?
If we do it the way I'm going to do it, in which is go ahead, we're going to do a roll call count, and we may proceed with that being said. And if people are having to leave, I do want them to have that opportunity. So that being said,
very disruptive of our procedure that we have already been sent out to all of the members ahead of time. Everyone has already been prepared for this, the way that we were going to vote. It was sent out by email, I don't know, a week ahead of time at least. And this is the way that the members are prepared to vote. Please, with all due respect for the candidates who are running for chair and vice chair for this upcoming year, please allow for the election runner to be run, and that's the way that we are going to vote. The members who are going to run for chair and vice chair would like to speak, and please let us vote. Thank you.
Member Dobb, you can speak for yourself, and I respect your comment, but there's a couple other hands up. Go ahead, Member Lanto.
Thank you. I'd like to make an official motion that we move forward with election runner.
I second
but
that.
It's not at this point. There's still people with their hands raised, and everyone has to be heard. Can I hear from Member Crawford, please?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. With all due respect, yes, for the sake of time, we've been at this for like 15 minutes. I'm willing to vote in person as well as through the election runner. I've already voted through election runner. My vote stands, and this is something that should be, once we change positions, should be revisited once we elect a new chair and vice chair, because now it seems like we are in the process, in the middle of an election, to change the process and come up with new policies. This is not the time for that. We should go with what has been presented as and understood what we currently are doing. And therefore, with this election runner, if this has not been something that was previously brought up prior to, it should be null and void until we put it in the bylaws, and that's what we'll be using going forward if it has not been properly introduced. But for the sake of time, and I have to leave at 1 o'clock, I have already voted, but if I need to say it in person, I have no problem with doing so, and I'm ready to vote. Thank you.
Member Luckman, please.
Yes, I asked to pass a motion to vote on the vote. We could have been, and I think Member Roberts had mentioned the same thing, that's going against process. So even if we're still in the process of figuring out how to vote, passing a motion to say, hey, can we just vote on whether we vote online or in person would have resolved all of this, and we would have been able to get moving on the next part and hearing the candidates speak.
Member Luckman.
Yes, so I'll just reiterate, I'm passing a motion to suggest that we vote on the method of voting.
Member Douglas, please.
Member,
You have a
Dr.
comment?
Randall was before me.
Okay, well, I want to, we haven't heard from you, so I want to hear from you. If you don't mind, Member Douglas.
Well, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. And as I said before, the information was sent several times to members. And I think that at that time that if there was any concern, that should have been raised then. But the link is in the chat. There is a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. So at this point, I believe that we can call for the vote now with the vote second, but Dr. Randall had her hand up, but I would like to call for the vote since it's been moved in second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Member Randall.
It's very interesting to me that we're all very excited about making the vote. You don't want anyone to know how you vote. And election runner is not in the bylaws. And just because a select few decides to send something out, that doesn't make it right. Thank you. That concludes my comment.
Go ahead, Dr. Well, thank you, Dr. Randall. Go ahead, Member Cash.
Okay, I see the election runner is in the chat. I am bringing it up on the system. It does say that you do not have to log in, but it is not allowing me to move forward with the names of the individuals that's running for chair and that's running for vice chair. So if it's not working for me, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, all I want to do is, if this is the way that it has been chosen, because that's how we've taken a vote to move forward with election runner, I just want to be able to put my vote in accordingly. That's the only thing that I have to say, because I want to be able to vote regardless to how this body feel we need to vote, be it electronically or be it roll call. But as of right now, the motion that's on there, it seemed like we could move forward, but I just want to cast the vote. That's it. Thank you.
Are there any more comments? Okay, so at this point, we will ask that Sarah Roberts as a candidate for chair of the WCWC, if you have any comments and would like to present to this board while you're running, and whatever your vision may be, if you can speak at this time, that would be great.
Sure, Chair Carter, but as a point of order and clarification, as described to us in the process in an email that was sent out multiple times, there has to be an opening for nominations.
We'll nominate Sarah Roberts for the position of chair.
No, I don't know anything about the process. You are a candidate, am I right? Vice Chair Roberts? There are two candidates, am I correct? It's Sarah Roberts and also Melissa Dobb, correct? Or, I'm sorry, Member Douglas and Member Roberts are both candidates for president. not, I'm
Correct.
sorry, not for chair of the Wayne County, the Wayne County Women's Commission. We have 2 candidates. This was not a nomination. It could have been a nomination, but we can, that's sidebar. Let's go with the 2 candidates who went through the effort to present their information. So Sarah Roberts, if you would please proceed, then we can get out of here timely and people can have an opportunity to vote.
I know, and I'm not trying to make this difficult, but we received an email 3 times saying
That's over with.
a nomination.
We are
and
now
that is
voting.
What has been presented to us. And
We
so
are now voting. We are now voting. If you would please, don't belabor the vote any longer. That's been clear. We need to move on. If you have a statement that you'd like to present, please proceed.
I would like to hear from the body that we have a process in our bylaws, and that has been described to us by our corporation counsel that there is a nomination process and people need to be nominated.
There is the process in the bylaws indicate that a person who is wanting to run for chair, vice chair may present their information. That's what was said at the last meeting. People were encouraged to put their information in, and that is what happened. So maybe the other information you're providing is clear. It came in a note later, what have you. But as a chair, we must move on. There's 2 candidates. It's not that hard. Please make your presence known as the candidate for chair of the Wayne County Women's Commission. Thank you.
Okay, well, I will just go ahead and move forward. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank all the members that I had an opportunity to speak with about running for chair. And why I'm running, and I appreciate your time and the conversations that we had. I am deeply passionate and committed to the success of our commission, and not just for our term, but really helping set the foundation, a strong, structural, organized foundation for future commissions to help ensure their success in working on things that support and uplift women in Wayne County. You know, as the past year, I've served, as the vice chair, helping with organization and communication with members and with county staff. I took the effort to, call every member to have, a conversation, if we were able to speak, and that was very meaningful. I worked with Chair Carter, members Douglas and Dobb on speakers and presentations from the city of Detroit and the county health department to help give us information in terms of what is being done via these health departments to help women impacted by COVID-19 in Wayne County. Working with Chair Carter to provide an opportunity to have a presentation from the Michigan Women's Commission. I drafted our committee chair, vice chair, and member rules and responsibilities guidance document. And I really worked to bring in other members to get their input in working with Chair Carter on final approval so that we would have some guidance as we went into our committee work. I had the idea and helped create and serve as chair of our ad hoc committee for facilitating a strategic plan and using a facilitator to support us in mapping out our plan. I've worked with the committee and Chair Bell, and we now have, a day retreat that is planned on June 18th. Chandra McMillan is going to be our facilitator, and I think it's going to be a really wonderful event for us, and I hope that everyone can attend. I'm running because I want to help us to be more organized, efficient, and do meaningful work where we all have a strong voice for the women of Wayne County. I mean, we really need to understand, and I want to create opportunities to learn about Robert's Rules of Order. This is what's going to help make our meetings run more efficiently, ensure that people have a voice, and when a motion is made or an amendment is made, we know what that process is, and we are making decisions in that way. And also making sure that we really dig into these bylaws and make sure that our bylaws are clear and that we all have a good understanding of what our bylaws are, because that is our guiding document for rules of, how we operate. And I think that's really important. I think we need to be better connected to what is actually happening in Wayne County in terms of the work that they are doing and the Wayne County Commission is doing that impacts women, that is related to our mission, our vision, and our core values. I think that has been a missing link this past year. We need to know what programs, policies, budgetary decisions are being made that impact women in Wayne County for us to effectively have a voice for women in some of these decisions that are being made. We, as I said, we're a body created by the Wayne County Commission, and that is a part of the Wayne County government. And I want to make sure that we are, better connected. I really have the time, the energy, the effort, and the passion, to serve as our next chair. And I am asking kindly for your vote.
Thank you for your comments. Member Tally, do you have a comment?
Yes, I'm like Member Crawford. I have to go. I just want to say this for the record before I leave. This meeting was very messy. I just want to say that this was thrown out earlier today. This was a very messy, it reminded me of a city council meeting. And I'm just so disappointed right now. I don't even know what to say. Just for the record, I could care either whether we did it online or in this, it doesn't matter. I cast my vote already through the electronic method. I got the link, I voted. I have to go. But I'm just want to say I am so disappointed today of the messiness of this meeting. And hopefully going forward, we will not have, I don't have time for this. I'm just saying, I don't have time for this. I have 1 hour to dedicate for a meeting and I have to go back to work like Summer. And this reminds me so much of a city council meeting and it really burns me right now. So I'm gonna say I casted my vote. I have to go. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the meeting and that going forward, that we will not have meetings like this again. Everybody, please have a great day.
Thank you for your comment. Let's go ahead and we are not going to delay this with more comments because I think everybody has had a chance to speak on the agenda item. So if we could at this point have Member Douglas to make her presentation for chair of the Wayne County Women's Commission at this time.
Okay, I saw Member Crawford's hand and I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yes, thank you so much.
Again, I don't want to further interrupt the vote. We've heard the comments. Let's get on with the vote. Let's finish your comments.
Without reduce, ma'am, may I please, Madam Chair, through the chair to Felicia, through the chair to Felicia Johnson, as well as Spivey. If you could, please, I have submitted my vote electronically. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but I am prepared openly in this body to say that I support Chair Sarah Roberts, support Sarah Roberts as chair, and I also support LaTanya Gator as vice chair. That is my vote. You heard it from me, Summer Crawford, whether it's through electronically,
Right, so
but I do have to go.
We got your, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone, and I look forward to a great season moving forward. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Go ahead, Member Douglas. That was not called for, but let's move on.
Thank you, Member Crawford, and thank you, Chair Carter. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you about my desire to become chair of the Wayne County Commission, of the Women's Commission. As my cover letter shows, it tells a story of jobs and board appointments and achievements for reasons to become chair of the commission. But let me tell you the real story as to why. I grew up in an environment that did not encourage me, a Black woman, a young Black woman, to move beyond a basic job, marriage, and having children. Was that a bad thing? No, my desires went beyond that though. I listened, I followed, I led. Who would have thought I would work for 3 mayors, one of which was elected before I arrived in high school, where I met great women, leaders and influencers before the word influencers became popular, like Pat Scott, who was tough and strong, like Diane Washington, who was intelligent and caring. I listened, I followed, I led. Wayne County Commission, where I worked for the Honorable Jewel Ware, tough, strong, intelligent women. Chair Alicia Arbel, strong, intelligent, resourceful. I listened, I followed, I led. Gabrielle Jackson, Chair of the NAACP Grosse Pointe Harper Woods. I listened, I followed, I led. Wayne County Women's Commission, which I am proud to serve and to serve on the Health Committee. I listened, I follow, I led. Last and more importantly, Maggie Douglas, a 94-year-old mother of 6 children. My mother. Because of her, this is who I am today. I listened, I followed, I led. These women and many others are the reason for my service and desire to become chair of this Wayne County Women's Commission, to continue to listen, to follow, and to lead us forward based on the groundwork that has been laid and developed for us as a collective unit. My past has afforded me the opportunity to be the woman here you see today, an opportunity as a young woman who is fortunate to be Black, that I never thought I would have. President of the Grosse Pointe Harper Woods NAACP, board of directors for the Grosse Pointe Chamber of Commerce, and many others. In this ever-changing world, there is much to be done for women. History, especially for the past 2 years, has shown us that women are strong, persistent, and compassionate. We have the power to make a significant change within Wayne County and beyond, that goes beyond procedures and policies. It brings in passion, it brings in commitment, it brings in strength and tenacity. We can make this go beyond this Women's Commission, and it can be bigger and better than we ever imagined. Our success as the Wayne County Women's Commission can only propel the women that we represent. I listen, I follow, I lead, and I lift up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Well, let's take a few minutes, and I have to navigate from one screen to another. So let's, at this point, I want to say, I want to say, let's do both. Let's call for a voice vote, and we can do also the electronic, since we have all these issues. I don't want this to come back at a later date. So at this point, we can get a roll call vote of all those in favor of chair, vice chair, Sarah Roberts. She is running for chair. If we can go ahead with that vote.
We have a hand raised from Vice Chair Roberts and from Dr. Randall.
Let's hear from Dr. Randall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we should just do the voice, and we can't do both. I don't think we can. That's just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'll hear opposing view. I think we should just do the voice vote with roll call. That's just my opinion. Thank you so much.
Okay, can we proceed with the voice vote, Madam Clerk?
No, point of order. We had a motion on the floor that was supported to use the vote runner.
But we did not vote for that. We did not vote.
No, but Chair Carter, we're supposed to. If there's a motion and a support, there needs to be a vote.
Excuse me, but that wasn't even in the, was that in the minutes? Was that vote in?
No, that's what a motion is for. Motions are not in minutes because they come up as the meeting is taking place. And you're supposed to honor them when they are seconded.
I'm talking about the prior meeting when this was first brought up. There was really no discussion, and I don't really recall the vote being in.
Again, that's what a motion is, Chair Carter. Is that
through the
something
chair,
that comes up as
through the chair,
meeting
if I may, just
Okay.
for the sake of trying to move this meeting along and get clarification of this issue. So this is Attorney Johnson. We cannot have two methods of vote. We have to have one. I'm gonna simply ask, because there was a motion made to this body to either vote yes or no for election runner. If the vote is no, then you will have an electronic vote, a verbal vote. If the request is yes, you will have an election runner vote, and that will resolve this issue, and it's up to the members of the body. So since you have a motion and that motion has been seconded, I'm gonna please respectfully say that it is proper procedure for that vote to have already been taken. So please take that vote. That will resolve this issue, and then we can move forward from that point. So the vote and the motion on the floor, which is very proper, are you using election runner? The answer is yes or no. If the answer is no, you would do a verbal vote. If the answer is yes, you will use election runner. Please vote.
Okay, so we would have to now have that vote for whether or not we're gonna have the electronic vote. Can we get a roll call on the electronic vote?
Member Winton? Is she still on?
Doesn't look like she is.
Okay. Member Talley has left the meeting. Member Starr?
So if I vote yes, that's for the electronic vote, just to
Yes, yeah,
clarify.
to clarify, the motion is to use election runner for this vote.
Yes.
Member Randall?
No.
Member
No.
Luckman?
Yes.
Member Lanto?
Yes.
Member Joyner? Member Joyner doesn't appear to be on the Zoom anymore. Member Hughes is left as well. Member Gator?
Yes.
Member Garcia?
Yes.
Member Douglas?
Yes.
Member Dobb?
Yes.
Member Crawford has left the meeting. Member Cash?
Member Cash is gone.
Vice Chair Roberts?
Yes.
Chair Carter? Chair Carter?
Do we have a forum still?
Yes, I just checked. We do have exactly 10 members, which is a quorum, but I need your vote for the record.
I say no, because members have already voted and we have not even called for the vote. They did not even get the opportunity to hear the other candidate. It was a pre-vote, and I don't think that's fair to all candidates.
Okay, I have you as a no on the record, but the motion has passed to use election runner for this vote.
That being said, let's take a few minutes and go and do that and come back. What the time is, can you note the time, clerk, and give us a time to go into that ballot and make the vote?
Yes, right now it is 1:09 p.m. We have already received, I believe, 15 members have already voted, including some members that have left the meeting. If any members need help with accessing their voter ID and key to use the link that was submitted in the chat, please let me know. I can direct message it to you if you cannot find the email that was sent to you. And I will let the body know when all votes have been cast by members who are present. And Chair Carter, it appears that everybody who was present at this meeting today has voted.
What's the next step? Do you know?
Can you display the results, Gagny?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
For Chair,
So congratulations. It seems that we have voted Sarah Roberts in with 65% of the vote as chair of the next WCWC session, the last half of our 2-year assignment as members of the Wayne County Women Commission. And also, before, maybe you shouldn't have shown both of them because now Latanya Gator and Melissa Dobb did not give their speech. This is a problem with electronic votes. Neither one of them had an opportunity to influence and to impart upon us what they may bring to the table. And that's just not right.
Madam Chair, may I say something to that point? Yeah, I don't even know if it's worth saying anything, but it's not a problem with the way we voted. It's a problem with the amount of time you took up complaining about the method of voting. It was very unprofessional and very disrespectful to the candidates. And it was incredible. And that's all I'll have to say about that. Thank you.
Well, I guess.
And I'm going to leave the meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations to our new chair and vice chair. You've made your statements and you've worked hard, and I'm looking forward to all the things that may happen while you're in office. Are there any other comments?
we have hands from Member Randall and Member Starr.
Go ahead, Member Starr.
Just want to thank all of the members who put their names in for chair and vice chair and for bringing their leadership to the table. I know the process was a little challenging, and it's really important that we continue to make sure that we step forward into these roles. I'd also like to ask, how will the members who had to leave the meeting before the results were final, how they'll be able to get those results? Will we be able to immediately send an email to them so that everyone's informed expeditiously? Thank you.
Through the chair, if you would like, I can send an email after this meeting is over with the results for everyone to view, for those who had to leave the meeting early.
That would be great. Thank you. Member Randall, do you have a comment?
Yes, I just want to say that I don't feel that you were unprofessional. Just because someone disagrees with what you say, they don't have a right to call your demeanor unprofessional. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. Go ahead, Member Gator.
Good afternoon to this body. I just wanted to say humbly, thank you for those who voted for me. Sorry, I did not get the chance to express verbally what my interest letter stated, but I hope that those who did vote for me felt that they made a sound vote based on what I have shown as a Wayne County Women's Commissioner thus far, and any other professional and personal facts that you know about me. I am ready to get to work and to serve our new chair, Ms. Roberts, as vice chair. Thank you.
It is your option at this time, the winner of vice chair election here today. It is your choice to go ahead with your presentation if you wish. If you're not, if you don't want to, that's okay as well. But I don't want you to miss an opportunity that you should have had without addressing it.
Thank you, former Chair Carter. With all due respect, I do have to get back to work. So again, I just wanted people to know that, you know, I open and I operate transparently. So if you have any questions for me, or if you want to know my ideas or anything like that I plan to use in this role to support the chair, please email me or call me. I'll be happy to have that conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can we proceed, please?
Yes, we do have a hand from current Vice Chair Roberts.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just want to take a quick moment and thank those you know, who supported me in the vice chair role. I am very sorry how this election ultimately played out procedurally. And this is something that I really want to work with everyone on. I will be reaching out to every single member of the commission to just have a one-on-one and talk through some things that you think are important or you think that we need to fix so that we can have our meetings really run in an organized and efficient manner. And I just want to thank everyone for their comments and participation today. And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Roberts, and congratulations, and I'm sure you will do well. All right. Is there anyone else that had Member Starr, are you? Okay, go ahead, would you please, Madam Clerk?
We are moving to item number 2 under new business, an update from the ad hoc committees. An update from Strategic Planning Committee by Committee Chair Roberts and Vice Chair Tinsley Smith, who I believe is not in the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Just a point of clarification, I want to make sure that we still have a quorum, and you know, we have lost a significant number of members, and I'm just wondering if, you know, we want to do the updates real quick or if we just want to wait till our next meeting.
Through the chair, we do not have a quorum anymore, so we are no longer able to take votes on any motions. But if there's anything that the members want to continue to discuss, it's up to the body. But we do have a hand from Member Starr.
I agree with Sarah. I think it's time that we just call this meeting to closure and table the rest of this agenda and take it up at the next meeting.
A second. I agree with that. But we do have to still ask for public comments. Are there any public comments? Oh, we said table. Let's agree that we should all table it. Are all in agreement to table the rest of the
well, Chair Carter, since we don't have a quorum, we're not able to take a vote on that. We can skip these items. I believe so. We can skip these items for now. Since
yes, you may.
There's nothing else I believe we have to vote on. So since there's no action items, we don't have to take a motion. We can just move on to the next item on the agenda if you would like.
Okay, go ahead.
We are moving to, we'll move to item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the commission.
Since I am here, and I do have an update from the mental health subcommittee, if it's okay with everyone who's here. I requested that the resolution that was created and passed by this body be posted on the Wayne County Commission website, and that request was granted. On this agenda was also the Move On petition link that we created, along with the language to show opposition against those bills. And the Wayne County Commission got back to me and let me know that county resources cannot be used for opposition or lobbying against any bill that is on the floor or any legislation that may be in act. And so that request was denied. But I do encourage you all to look at that petition and to sign it if you feel that public mental health services should not be privatized. Thank you. Oh, sorry, another thing. Commissioner Dobb and I attended the mental health first aid training that was hosted by Michigan State University, and we are now certified mental health first aid trainers.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We're on item G, public comments. We did not receive any emailed public comments, but I will ask everyone on Zoom to unmute themselves if they have a public comment.
Are there anyone with a public comment at this time? Are there any public comments at this time? Thank you. This meeting is officially adjourned, and thank you for your time and attention to elect the next chair, Sarah Roberts, and vice chair, Ms. Gayer. Thank you so much, and you all have a great month.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.